Should you be advertising in a recession? Europe is in a terrible state. Iran is protected to a certain extent. But if Europe collapses, if the politicians don't get themselves sorted out, it's going to have an effect for the whole world. Now, if Iran is not affected, that's fantastic. But as business people, it is your duty to prepare yourselves just in case. So should you be, if you are affected, should you be advertising a recession? I want to share with you a small poem from the UK. The fish lays 2,000 eggs. The hen lays only one. The fish never cackles to tell you what she's done. And yet we ignore the fish and the chicken we prize, which just only goes to prove that it pays to advertise. Or does it? In preparing for this talk, I need to recognize the help that Ali Juya from Nigah Fada has given to explain what is happening in Iran, and other colleagues, and a book in particular that I recommend to you called Sticky Marketing by a friend in UK called Grant Leboff, that has got some great ideas about where the world of marketing is going, and my colleagues who are following me will be sharing their ideas. I hope that we can look at what you hear and put it into action. Let's look at the old rules of marketing, which are all about shouting, shouting loud. But there are so many messages that we as human beings are being subjected to. With internet, with billboards, and you've got some fantastic billboards out there. The advertising that's around us, there are so many messages that as human beings, we are turning our eyes shut and we're turning off our ears. When the television comes on, we turn it over and flick to another channel, or we put it on recording and we use the digital technology because it's a time to go and make a cup of tea. So does it pay to advertise? Because under the old rules, the louder you shout, the bigger chance there is for people to hear. But you need to have a very big budget to be able to do that. Let me just show you an example of what's a modern advert, a current advert, that I think is an example of old-fashioned advertising. British Airways, massive, massive international company, and they have got a new advert that has got the old planes right through from when they started through to the new modern fleet. And their advertising says, to fly, to serve. In the pilot's jacket, it says, to fly, to serve. So what? How does that help me choose to fly with British Airways? To fly, to serve. What does that mean? It certainly means it makes British Airways feel good. It makes the people who work in British Airways feel good, so that's good. But does it make us, as prospective passengers, want to fly with them? Apart from the fact they've been around for a very long time. But the fact they've been around for a very long time, does that mean that they're any good? Because I consider myself as a champion for small businesses. The world is full of businesses. Over 90% of businesses in the world employ less than 10 people. Yet we are being encouraged to advertise. And, gentlemen, ladies, don't tell Jeff Ram. Advertising is great for our ego, but is potentially disastrous for our bank accounts. It doesn't work unless you do it properly. We will share ideas of how to do it properly. But so many people are taking the money out of their pocket and throwing it down the drain because they're just shouting out amongst all the other people that are shouting out. And nobody is listening. They're wasting their money. So as a champion of small business, I urge you not to waste your money. I want you to make more profit. Last time I spoke here, I talked about introducing a profit culture. One of the biggest examples of a profit robber is wasting money on advertising that makes you feel good but doesn't encourage the customer to use you. So let's look at an example of an advert that does work, because now the new rules of advertising that you'll be hearing from everybody is about involving your customers, involving your potential customers, engaging with them, getting them involved with you in every way possible, integrating the brand into your lives. Let me introduce you to T-Mobile. I was walking through Heathrow Airport in London. I was just parking my car there, getting on a train last year, and suddenly there was a whole load of people in my way, and I was getting very frustrated. What's going on? And then I heard the music, and I thought, oh my goodness, I know what's happening. I didn't have time to stop, otherwise you might see me in this picture. I keep looking to see if I'm in the background walking through because I was a busy one going to the train. But this is an example of an advert that shares, that gets involved. And this is an example of the principles that we will be sharing with you. 27th of October, 2010, I was there. See the surprise on people's faces. Those weren't all actors. These were members of the public, but they had actors in there. And so people coming out, passengers, would say, surprise. So, oh my God, I can't believe it. The surprise on that man's face. They're involving the public. You feel as though you're part of it. And I was there and I just saw it. And I thought, wow, there's people like me saying, oh my goodness. But this is the new type of advertising. It is the new way of engaging with people that makes you want to be involved. And we will see another example of T-Mobile later on that does it in Barcelona. So, my question to you is, do you know about the new rules of marketing?